Hello, family members. I hope you're having a nice day today. I want to talk today about bad faith and bad faith criticism and whether or not we should consider it or take it into consideration when we're talking about various controversial topics. One thing you'll see fairly often on YouTube is the response video, where somebody responds to something that somebody else posted and points out all the things they think are wrong about it, usually. I mean, sometimes you get response videos where people are like, this is really great, but that's not usually how it works. Usually it's, this is stupid and let me tell you why, right? And then, of course, because it's YouTube, then you get the response to the response. And the response to the response videos are the ones that really fascinate me. I will watch response to response videos of people that I have no idea who they are. Sometimes both parties, I'll be like, I don't know who either of these people are, but I want to know the drama. Drama's fun when it's not your drama, right? Ugh. Well, one thing that I've noticed in the response to the response video is that there are varying tactics that people may take to respond to bad faith criticism. They might just ignore it completely, might acknowledge it but dismiss it, might completely, utterly annihilate any logic or purported logic behind it, using, references and really doing the work to show why the bad faith criticism is wrong. And when it comes to these approaches, I don't think any of them are truly superior to others. It really depends on the criticism, the audience, and the person who is responding to the bad faith criticism and what they're trying to do with it. I think that it's completely valid to say there's no reason to engage with bad faith criticism at all. To acknowledge it gives it some power on some level, heightens its visibility, certainly. In an internet culture where engagement is currency, engaging even to criticize or to denigrate is still engagement, right? So, I can see that argument and it makes sense. And there's probably the bulk of the time that's true. The bulk of bad faith criticism is probably not worth even regarding, responding to, engaging with in any level. But I can also see where it would make sense to acknowledge it and dismiss it. To thank you, BB. To essentially, say, I'm aware of this bad faith criticism, but it's bad faith criticism, and I don't think that there's any value in engaging with it, and then just move on. And I can see why that would be a good thing. That way at least the audience is well aware that the creator has heard the bad faith criticism. It's not that they are ignorant of it, and they may or may not believe the creator when they dismiss the criticism as irrelevant or unimportant. But the creator's at least given them that option to follow with their interpretation or not. And I can also see very much the reasoning why you would want to engage with the bad faith criticism and break it down and show empirically why it's wrong. Because you're not doing that for the benefit of the criticizer, you're doing it for the benefit of your audience, of explaining to them why a bad argument is a bad argument, which will help them not only understand in this case why a bad argument is a bad argument, but hopefully help them, develop the tools to recognize other bad arguments in the future. I think it was Sean, I'm not sure, but I've definitely heard it on YouTube somewhere, someone saying that the point of debate shouldn't be to personally change, the extreme reactionaries' point of view or change their mind, but rather to discredit them in the face of onlookers. And so there is an inherent value in debate or responding to bad faith criticism if what you're trying to do is to educate other people, not the person who's acting in bad faith, but other people on why this is bad faith criticism, why this is wrong, here are the arguments against it. Oh, BB, good golly. I'm so sorry about this. Tried to not have to move everything around a million times, but then I need, well, actually she just wants LUNCH, but Anyway, so I think that what it comes down to, bad faith criticism, it's really a matter of discretion, what course of action you should take. And I do think that there's, really good reasons why a person might choose any particular way to engage with bad faith criticism. But, I do want to caution that engaging with bad faith criticism is something that requires a fairly significant amount of emotional labor. And while we may want to always discredit those who are trying to discredit us, or engage with bad faith criticism to help others learn how to debunk it themselves, we have to understand and acknowledge that we cannot overburden ourselves in order to do so. It's really important to know your limitations, to know what you can handle, and not try to do more than you really can do, because you'll burn yourself out. That's not sustainable. While it's important to push back against bad faith actors, it's also extremely important to push back against burnout, against overwork, against underappreciating your own worth. You are a very, very important part of any picture that you're in. And you're not going to be your best self if you try to sacrifice everything about yourself in order to do what's best in every scenario. Give yourself the grace to know that sometimes you can step aside, or that you can do the thing that's not necessarily ideal. You're allowed to indulge yourself occasionally. You need to indulge yourself occasionally because you're a human being and you deserve to do what is best for your own mental health, sometimes at least. Women especially, or people who are assigned female at birth, are kind of raised in this culture to believe that we are to people please and to smooth things over and to sacrifice for the good of our family or good of our team, and submit ourselves, subsume ourselves for the greater good. And if you have that inclination, it's very important that you notice that about yourself and you do something about it. That you don't allow yourself to overindulge in that bad habit. There's none of us are perfect. You're gonna do things less than perfectly often, but that's okay. Give yourself grace. okay? And the truth of the matter is, I find bad faith criticism just hilarious. I really do. It's the funniest thing in the world in the comments. Like when I get someone come in and try to be stupid, and I'm just like, that literally makes no sense. Or, I see what you're saying, but it's just cruel and dumb, and it's obviously ignorant and has nothing to do with the arguments that I made. So why in the world would that upset me on any level? It's just hilarious. And I think that that's a good habit to have, you know? And I don't know that I'm the kind of person that would do a response video in a traditional sense, but certainly if somebody brings up an interesting idea in the comment section, even if it's in bad faith, I'll probably comment on it, you know? I think that the right thing to do is all of the things. I believe in balance. I believe in nuance. I believe that every scenario is different and should be evaluated on its own merits. And, you know, you do the best you can with what you know at the time. And any time that you look back in hindsight and said, oh, I should have done blah, blah, blah. Well, good. Now you know that. But, you know, the you at the time did the best you could in the moment. And even if that means that you didn't do the best thing you could have done in the moment, you did the best you were capable of doing in that moment, okay? Unless you actually, you know, made a decision you knew was bad and were just being a jerk. Don't do that. Just like stop. Golden rule, come on. Treat other people the way you want to be treated, you know? Engage with bad faith criticism if it serves you. Don't engage with it if it doesn't serve you. Acknowledge it if it serves you. Don't acknowledge it if it doesn't serve you. And that's that, you know? And understand that, you know, sometimes it's going to be one or both or all three of those, you know? Like, it's just it can be a lot of things happening at once. And in fact, it usually is. Things are very complicated. So, embrace the chaos. All right, family members. It's still early, but these dogs are really trying to convince me that it's time for me to give them FOOD. So maybe they'll convince me. Who knows? We'll see. What do you think, babe? She just wants food. All right. Take care of yourself, family members. I'll talk to you later. Bye.